Hello, hello, hello. Tamara Hamilton here. Been blogging about the business of beauty since 2013. Yeah, since 2013. And I have done all of my skincare, cleanser. I didn't do toner, but remember, it's not really a toner, it's more of an astringent. So I did cleanser. I did an essence. I did a red ginseng sheet mask. And then I exfoliated. So I did a cleanser. I did the illuminating polish because, I know it's time to exfoliate when I feel a little texture down here. Okay, so start over. Feel free to fast forward if you're watching the replay. So I cleansed, then illuminating polish, then essence, then the red ginseng mask, and then the hydrating serum, and then moisturizer. And I didn't do eye cream, so, which is good because I want to do eye masks, so that's perfect. So I just want to roll my face just a little bit. Roll it, yes we do. Always feels so good, and I swear I can see the difference too, and like toning my face and all of that, and it helps get the product down further in the face. I particularly like to ice, not just do the quartz roller. I did that earlier with the sheet mask. I really like getting that cold, that flash of cold on my face. This was in the fridge, not the freezer. So we're gonna put the eye masks on. I love doing these eye masks. I lead a small group mastermind that is at 1 o'clock my time. And then I have a paid call with Pinterest at like 4. So I want to represent. Okay, let's get this extra off here. Really like to get the lines in the neck. And there we go. And really important to hydrate. Very important to hydrate. Our hydrate comes out early April. I'm super excited about that. There are going to be 4 flavors. Let me see if I can remember them all. I know Peach Bellini is my favorite. I had that in Cancun like the entire trip. I'd actually rather have that than, well, I wouldn't say I'd rather have it than a pina colada, but a non-alcoholic pina colada is like everything to me. I love those. Your girl just really is not into the alcohol much these days. Really loving the non-alcoholic spirits that I keep seeing all kinds of Facebook ads for. So they have adaptogens in them, so like ashwagandha and different things are in them. And I also keep seeing this ad from Apothecary, which is kind of like a little herbal thing, supplemental thing. And they have one that's called what are you whining about, or something like that. So it looks like you mix the little red looking powder, which is again adaptogens, with maybe bubbly water or seltzer water. So I think that's pretty cool. I know in my hometown there's actually a non-alcoholic bar now, and I think that is just brilliant. So I kind of like where we're going with this whole adaptogen thing, and not the alcohol. Because don't get me wrong, your girl has had her day. I have had some memorable nights. Okay, you even heard about some of them. So what I would like, so it's not like I'm judging people or anything like that, but it's just, I don't know, they're literally toxins that you are putting in your body, and that's why the next day is not always a whole lot of fun, you know? So, another serum. I love after the mask, my face feels so tacky because there's so much moisture in there. And put a little bit of facial oil on as well. I'm gonna have to do a big order soon because I'm starting to get low on some of my favorites. This is a blend of 7 oils, completely moisturizing, perfect for the skin. These are not like go in your kitchen and grab some cooking oils and use those. Those are often way too heavy and will clog your pores, and so these aren't. And I was a skeptic and did my research because, you know, coconut oil, because I've heard how coconut oil can be comedogenic, however you pronounce it. And one of the things I'm going to say I've learned in being on the internet in all these years is that even just because someone has a title of, say, makeup artist or even esthetician, yeah, they've been formally educated, but our education system is, I don't want to use the word corrupt, but so much of our education system, as we are learning, is really based around politicking and people with agendas, and, you know, who can bid the highest, and so that impacts the things that they are taught. And so you know, you might hear someone say, oh, coconut oil is comedogenic. Well, yeah, if you go take a jar of coconut oil for cooking and slap that on your face, that's probably not something you want to do. But if you know, get a cosmetic or skincare grade coconut oil, that's going to be something completely different than what is in your kitchen. So those are just all things we need to be aware of and think about. You know, like I see so much stuff, so many competing ideologies online every day, and it always is interesting because it's like, okay, who funded that? Right? What's the agenda, right? Like I saw a really high profile person, you know, talk about how Facebook groups are dead or are dying, or it's a strategy that's not working anymore. And it's like, because they want to send you over to their new software, their new app, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's just like that, you know, for every person that Facebook groups isn't working for right now, there are people that Facebook groups are working for, right? You know, we have to remember we don't own these platforms. And if the platform is not working for you anymore because you don't own it, and because your ideology and the way you want to do business does not align with that platform's rules, policies, procedures, and terms of service, then yeah, go invest in and create your own platform. It's as simple as that, right? So it's just really interesting, you know, the agendas, the propaganda, the entitlement, and how it plays out. So get these eye bags under check, and if we have time, which I gotta find a way to keep track of, let's see, because I got a 1 o'clock Zoom, and I'm pretty sure a reminder is going to go off at least 15 minutes before, so that I know. So I have actually been getting a lot of requests for tutorials lately, so I'm definitely for tutorials. I've been asked, do I do makeup classes, which typically I do 3 or 4 a year. Either, I wouldn't even call them just makeup, I would call it like some sort of beauty class that usually involves both skincare and makeup. Historically, I've done something in April a lot of the time for spring, every single year, like clockwork, to kick off summer, the Summer Glow series, and then we get back together over Labor Day weekend. Summer Glow is usually over Memorial Day, and then over Labor Day. You know, it's not always the same theme every year, but usually something over Labor Day. And I think last year I just replayed the years before, mainly because so much, I don't know, I feel like we've been on Groundhog Day for like the last 2 years, and we're starting to come out of that, which is why I think people are starting to ask for more tutorials. And so Memorial Day, Labor Day, and then usually something to start getting your skin prepared for fall. Usually in October-ish. Usually, more skincare or even health and wellness focused in October, and then usually over like the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, something more holiday focused because people tend to be looking for holiday makeup looks for their holiday gatherings. And so that's typically the schedule of what I do. Some years I do more, some years I do less, but that's usually what I do, because in spring everybody wants to know what are the upcoming trends for summer, right? And then, by Labor Day, people are starting to look at what are the trends for fall, what are the trending colors, the trending products. And like I said, people are always looking for holiday looks. I don't typically do much with classes January through April, just because it's a quiet time for me. But yeah, so, and historically what I've done, if you want one-on-one lessons, that either in person or on Zoom requires a minimum purchase. And so typically that's been $150 minimum purchase. Doesn't even mean that you have to spend that, but the retail value of what you order, will get you a one-on-one lesson. And that's just honestly based off of my own experience with department store brands. And like when my daughter went to prom, I wanted a professional, and we didn't really have, she graduated from high school in 2010. She went to her first prom, I think, in 2009. So there wasn't like all this stuff like with social media even back then, or at least I didn't know about it. And so what I did know was to go to the MAC counter at Macy's. And so I went to the MAC counter and said, how much for a makeup artist? And they said, you only have to spend $50. Well, $200 later, she got a full face of beautiful makeup. And so that's literally what I base mine off of, is a minimum amount, usually, like I said, $100 in retail value. Spend that. And when everything was wide open, you could come here in the studio if you were local and do it. I've had people drive hours to come and spend an hour with me. I've done them on Zoom too for people all over the country. So that's the whole makeup lesson thing. And then tutorials, honestly, makeup class is a huge series of tutorials, and then I just do one-offs like when I'm live. But the real in-depth tutorials are inside of the Click, my VIP group. So that's where my customers are. That's where people who follow me on social media and want to get to know me. That's really where you get more of my time without making some sort of order commitment, is in that group. There is tons of information. All you have to do is, once you're in there, just ask, post your question, and I can tag you. You can also go immediately to guides. There are tons of lessons and tutorials and guides. There actually is a beginner class there, to welcome you to the skincare in there. That's the very first guide. There's a guide on ingredients. There is tons of information in there. And that also is where I do giveaways that are not announced anywhere else. That is also where, I might just throw up a post and be like, the last person to say this, I'll give them something free. That also is where I will do specials that are not on my boutique. And I do that to keep the integrity of the brands that I work with, right? Because what we don't want to create is a person who is actually my customer going and shopping from someone else because they are offering a special that I am not. And so to keep the integrity of the brand and the relationship, and everybody to keep their own customers, which is a unique thing with our affiliate program, is your customer for life, not just that one transaction. And so to keep that, to me, it's really important to not be doing a lot of lowballing. I don't do a lot of lowballing anyway, but a lot of wheeling and dealing on in public spaces. And some companies actually have that as a rule, and I really think that should be a rule, because, you know, and everybody has different ways of doing business. Like for me, I don't deal in samples, right? The sample is the 45-day money-back guarantee. The sample is 20% off, actually up to 30% off of your order as a first-time customer. That is more than enough of a sample with all of the amazing content that I put together to help people make buying decisions. So to do a sample, just to me, doesn't make good business sense. And it also does not even make good sense for the customer, because all a sample is going to do is it is going to tell you if you have a reaction to the product, which the vast majority of people don't. It's going to tell you how the product feels, how it smells, but if it's not a true trial. A true trial is the full-size product, and that's why it has a 45-day money-back guarantee. So, you know, if we didn't have those things in place, I might be more apt to do it. But having sold skincare, having sold customized foundations, y'all remember when I used to come out here and I would be mixing and blending foundations, and next thing you know, we're posting the picture of that person, pretty spot on accuracy, right? No returns, no going back and forth. And I sent them a full size of that foundation, not a sample. So I'm just very confident that samples are just really a waste of the customer's time and a waste of my time, because you could already be getting results if you had the full size of the product and it's a full size sample with a 45-day money back guarantee. By the way, in 2 years now, I have not had a return. Okay. So, so the way to get a sample is to make a purchase, right? So if you make a purchase of mascara and eyeliner, which is missing in action right now, we'll use this one. So you make a purchase of eyeliner and mascara, then yeah, I will send you a sample as a thank you. You know, so there's just really no reason to be doing samples, in my professional opinion, with my business owner hat on. It's just delaying everything for the customer. It's delaying everything for me. Let's get you a full size of the product. But I also don't start customers with a 15-step skincare program. I start them with the 2 to 3 basic steps. And here's why. When you start with me, these are minis, right? Now, that's another way to try the product, is the actual minis, right? And I've had people do that. You try with the minis, and that's going to give you 10 days. That's much better of a trial than me sending you sample strips. I have customers and team members who, bless their hearts, they cannot stand using the product from the sample strips, because it's just not really the full-on experience of the product. Now, where did my lip gloss fall to? Oh, right here. It's just not the full-on experience of the product, right? And so this is going to give you a little bit better of the full-on customer experience, but we have a double-blind clinical study that is based on 28 days. And at the end of that 28 days, you know, a certain, like 90-some% said their skin felt more hydrated, looked more plump, had more luminosity, and the skincare acted as a primer for their foundation, right? And it actually goes from 7 days, 14 days, and 28 days, and it gives you the breakdown in the percentages. Most people will see an actual most people will see and feel some sort of difference within 7 days, right? You're going to see the most difference after 28 days. So are you understanding why it's a 45-day money-back guarantee, and you're better off to make the investment in the product? You do it anyway everywhere else and have for years. So I believe in these products enough to tell you to buy the product and trust me and give it a run for the full 28 days. And then if you don't like it, there's a 45-day money-back guarantee. And like I said, over 100 customers, 2 years, and not one return. So there's no need to do samples. The full size, which they don't all look like this anymore, but just get the full size. Get the full size. It comes with, like I said, it's double backed by the double-blind clinical study. It's backed by a 45-day money-back guarantee. and you get an introductory price of up 20 to 30% off your first order. It's a no-brainer. Samples are just in the way, okay? So, like I said, I do, however, do thank you gifts for customers who order, okay? And so sometimes that thank you gift might be a 15-minute one-on-one consultation on Zoom or a mini lesson on Zoom. It could be some sample strips. It could be, I've given away full-size free products, right? But it comes from being inside of that VIP group. Before I went off on that tangent about samples, because I see it all the time. People offer samples and it's just completely unnecessary. Like, if you believe in your product and you believe in your brand, there's really no reason to do that. And I can get into the whole marketing aspect of it, from top of funnel to bottom of funnel, and how people are doing things that are literally killing their revenue and their income statement by focusing on sampling instead of focusing on selling. That's a whole other it's a whole other live, but that's also 3 decades of sales, marketing, and leadership experience speaking. So, and I have a team that duplicates without doing some of the crazy stuff I see people doing that doesn't actually duplicate, and then they wonder why things move as slow as they move, because you clogged up the system with unnecessary and overcomplicated steps. So that's that. So we are freezing the face. Freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. But look how plump and juicy that skin looks. Okay? Looking nice and plump and juicy. Juicy, juicy, juicy. And really, I love when I roll this over the eye mask, how it just really makes them, because there's 3 layers to the eye mask, it just really makes them lay there. So yeah, I also want to hear from you. What would you like lessons or tutorials on? I have not done a makeup haul since July of 2020. Okay, I have not done a makeup haul since July of 2020, and it's time to do another makeup room clean out, which I've actually started. But I need to go through with another bag and throw more stuff out just because of expiration dates and all of that. I like to do that at least quarterly. And so that means I'm clearing out for new, right? So I need to get some new stuff in, and I think maybe even run a full-on class in April. So I would love to hear from you. What would you like to learn? What do you need more info on? Is it eyebrows? That's usually a big one. I haven't really gotten requests for that one more recently. I've gotten a lot of requests about eyeshadow and just eye makeup in general, so I guess that includes brows. But brows, is it pairing your eyeshadows, knowing which shadows work well with other, like in the order to place the shadows and where to place the shadows? So like an eyeshadow tutorial. Is it winged liner? Is it your base face, like the order to put your makeup on your face, matching your foundation? What is it that I can help you with most, and that'll help me get an outline together for a class and run that in April. And then, also give me feedback, because I feel like the makeup classes were the most engaging when I uploaded short videos and maybe went live once during the full days. Is it that you want to see a live video? I can tell you what I am not going to do, and I hate when I see people do this: run a bunch of live videos all day long and post my makeup classes, my classes. What you will not see me do is throw up on you all day, every day for 2 or 3 days. The goal here is not to get you to become a partner, get you to buy everything that the company offers. No, that's tacky, that's spammy, and that is not how I do business. My classes are very, very thought out, very orchestrated. And I'm not saying that other stuff isn't, but it's like, baby, you was doing way too much. Mine is, I'm not trying to go from first seeing you in the bar to bedding you down to engagement and to wedding all within the same 24 hours. That's not what we're doing here. We are really going to have a courtship. We are really going to date. And I think people get a lot more out of it. The classes are not about me and me making sales. And that's why I think they've been so successful. They are not about me. They are about the people attending the classes and giving them the information that they need, not even necessarily to make an informed buying decision, but to serve them and help them in putting their best face forward, is where my classes have always come from. Will I make a post about joining the opportunity or becoming an affiliate? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? But will it be at the heart and center of every single thing that I do? No. But that's also how I've been able to have 25,000 followers on Instagram, 10,000 on Pinterest, about 4,000 or 5,000 on Twitter, actually more than 25,000 on Instagram, probably upwards of 30,000 between multiple accounts, even more than that. Now almost 2,000 on TikTok, is because it's all about serving, and it's all about educating and entertaining. And like the whole upsell thing, I don't have to upsell. Because when y'all get done with my content, you come to me and you say, what all do I need for this? And I ask you some questions and say, you need this, this, and this, right? It's about the system, about it working together. So it's, and no, that's not because of it. No, just because I have 30 years of experience doesn't mean that someone who doesn't have 30 years of experience can't do it. It's actually easier to get someone with without the 30 years of experience to operate in that way than it is to upsell. Upselling is a very, very technical and difficult thing, and most sales pros do not actually upsell. If you watch them, that a person is a novice when they upsell. I'm gonna just put it that way. Upselling is so overrated and unnecessary, right? And so if you partner with me and join my team, I will teach you what to do, because upselling makes most people want to pee their pants. Okay, so we don't do that over here. And we also don't sell you stuff that you don't need. So what I can tell you about the skincare is this. I'm going to ask you some questions, and even if you come to me for a makeup lesson in person or on Zoom, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you about your skin, because the makeup is only going to be as good as the skin that it sits on, okay? The makeup is only going to be as good as the skin that it sits on, and if we don't address the skin, why are we even talking about makeup? That's one of the very first things that I learned when a very young girl sat in that chair, and I was mortified at the condition of her skin. And no, I'm not an esthetician, and no, I'm not a dermatologist, but there was just so much buildup and oil, and I could tell she had been using soap, and it just actually made me very sad. So I'm not saying that from a judgmental place, but it just validated why we focus on the skin first, okay? So I'm gonna want to know about your skin. And I can tell you 9 times out of 10, I'm going to recommend either these two or these two. And you're saying, well, Tamira, but I probably have this, this, and this. You probably do have all those other conditions. Number one, again, I'm not an esthetician and I'm not a dermatologist. So I cannot make recommendations for medical conditions, okay? I cannot. But what I can do is I can review, which I know, what each of these ingredients will do for your skin, especially because they're clinical grade ingredients that have studies behind them, right? And so I know that, for example, if you are not using a cleanser, if I recommend you a 15-step routine and you're not using a cleanser, and then I recommend you not only a cleanser, if you are not have, let's say you have no skincare routine, right? Instead of recommending you a 15-step routine, I'm going to recommend the first 2 to 3 steps, right? And actually the first 3: cleanser, moisturizer, and this is your night moisturizer. And if you have sensitive skin, this is also going to be your morning moisturizer, right? And then sunscreen in the morning. Those 3 steps are going to make such a big difference in the way that your skin looks. If I inundate you with a full 15-step routine and you do have a reaction to something beyond purging and all of that, how am I going to identify what it is? So I'm not going to recommend you. And this is how I've sold tens of thousands of dollars in skincare since 2000. Oh, actually more than six figures in skincare since 2013. How can I identify what caused that if I recommended 15 steps? The most important steps are the basics, right? In this case, because it's alkaline with a pH of, I believe, 5 or 5.5, you actually do not need a toner to bring the pH back from 7 down to 4.5 to 5.5. This is already going to keep the skin at that because it's not going to strip it, right? And so these are the two most important steps, along with sunscreen. Those are the three most important steps. So the first point of breakdown is you're not using a cleanser. Let's get you a cleanser. By the way, if you're cleansing, you have to moisturize, and you're wasting your money on your skin investment if we don't protect with SPF, right? With SPF. So those are the first three. I'm going to recommend 3 different brands for this because, again, I'm going to mitigate my risk and tell you 3 different brands, and you get to choose, but you want at least a SPF 30. That's just, I can tell you right now. And that is why I don't do samples, okay? Because these two is $119, right? Is $119. I'm going to recommend that you get the bamboo washcloths for the maximum experience. And most people, again, they come to me and they know that they need to get those 3 because they've been watching my content, right? So the first point of breakdown is the cleanser. Comes with double backed by the clinical study and the 45-day money-back guarantee, along with an introductory offer of up to 30% off for first-time customers. It's a complete no-brainer. It's a complete no-brainer. So why would I waste your time and my time with samples? It just doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, right? You either want to try it, you want to get results, or you kind of want it. No, that's what this is about, okay? So first point of breakdown, right? And so let's say you already are using a cleanser, right? But you're using a foaming cleanser, right? We're going to replace that with this, right? If you are using cleanser and moisturizer, if you're absolutely in love with it and it's giving you the results that you want, then yeah, you might want to keep it. But I got these other things based on what you've said. So if you say you have the M word, I don't really have anything for that. But what I do have is products for, because I'm not a doctor, so I can't prescribe, right? I can't treat medical conditions. But what I can do is give you products with ingredients that are shown to improve dark spots and hyperpigmentation. Are you following me? Did you just catch what I'm throwing down? Right? And that makes it very easy for you if you're watching this and you're like, well, I could never do what she does. Well, I'm telling you how you can do it and do it very easily without having to worry about, oh, this person said they have this person said they have that. It don't matter what they have. If they're not washing and moisturizing, they got a problem that you can fix very easily with full-size samples with a 45-day money-back guarantee, double-blind clinical study, and 30% off your first full-size sample order. Got it? And the reason you want it on auto-replenishment, aside from all the great reasons that you get, all the great perks that you get with auto replenishment, is you don't want to run out of it and have a break in your results and have to start over. Okay, so it's all very easy. It's very fluid, and it all makes perfect sense. And I have a group and over 100 satisfied, repeat, loyal customers. Okay. So that is that. I don't know what time it is, but I know we are more than 15 minutes out because I have not gotten a reminder. But look at that skin. Look at that skin. If you look at this skin, if you look at all the befores and afters, and you still need a sample, then the only reason I would charge for and send a sample out, other than just doing it as a thank you gift, is if someone had really sensitive skin, like my sister has. Like, she can look at something and it make her break out. So then in that case, I would not send out a free sample. You pay for the sample and it goes out, right? Or what I would do, and honestly most likely what I would do in that case, is I always keep a travel set here, at least one. I would say, okay, you can buy this from me, cash on hand, send it out, and if for whatever reason they wanted to return that, I would just buy it back from them. Okay, but they got to send it back to me. You ain't keeping nothing. You ain't keeping nothing, and I give you your money back. Okay, because people will try that, right? People will try that. I worked retail years ago, so really excited that people are looking to get back into color cosmetics, and really the eyes, because the eyes is, I always cover the basics, right? I always cover the basics. The strategy I've ran in this business for the last 2 years is the basics, right? So your cleanser and your moisturizer, the basics, right? Brows, where is it? Brows, mascara. I don't know where my liquid eyeliner went. Did it fall somewhere? But that's one of the basics for me, and that is the strategy, honestly, that I have ran since 2013, and everything else is a bonus. Because my philosophy of this is this: if I can help you with the basics, if I can help you get maximum impact and results with the least amount effort, you are going to love me, you are going to be loyal, and you're going to see me as a value-added resource, instead of me inundating you with a big ticket sale to say I got a big ticket sale and you get all this product and you break out or whatever, which again, there's very little chance of that happening, but I just really rather for people to really know what is working for their skin. And the best way to know that is to start with no more than 2 or 3 products at a time. And even for some people with those 2 or 3 products, I recommend, okay, first just start with the cleanser for a couple of days. And whatever you've been doing, continue doing that. Just start with the cleanser for a couple of days. Make sure everything is good. And then we're going to add the next step. And you're going to start with a small amount, and we're going to see what happens. And then you're going to add the next step. But you got to do SPF every day. That's not optional. SPF every day, right? We're going to phase it in. And I think so many times people in retail, people in these businesses, they go for everything all at once, when you literally get the customer for life. You literally get the customer for life. So why do you have to introduce them to everything all at once? It's a dance. It's a slow dance, right? And that's what I love about it, is you can create a plan. You can start planting the seed. I will let a customer know, hey, this is what we're going to start with, and we're going to run with that for your first course, right? Your first 60 to 90 days, however it takes you to cycle through your first cleanser and moisturizer or Dream Luxe, right? And then from there, we're going to look at adding this, right? Or it may be like what I did recently was we started with the Dream Luxe, we started with the cleanser, and we did the 7-day hydration series because her skin was extremely dry, and she was in her 40s, and so yeah, we need a little extra therapy. Okay, so we did the Dream Luxe, a course of the Dream Luxe sleep mask. Okay, so again, it just creates this, here's something to look forward to, instead of trying to get it all at once and you sell them like 15 items, but they only end up reordering 2. Think about that, right? You initially sold them, and I'm exaggerating here. I don't even know that you could, with this line, sell them 15 items. Or even a full collection, Do I sell full collections? Yeah, but those are people who want the full collection. Most people start with a duo. Most people start with a duo because for a lot of people, the duo alone is going to make enough of a big impact. And then they start asking about other things, right? I don't have to upsell or sell them the next step because either we've already talked about, okay, then we'll look at that, but for now let's focus on this, or they get so excited because they're seeing those results that now they start asking about other things. So I don't know when the last time is I owned a watch, and I didn't bring another device down here to see what the time is, but clearly looks like I am going to be going into this Zoom with pretty much a bare face, but I think we have time to get some brows in here, so let's work on some brows and wait for that timer to go off for that reminder. So I want to hear from you. I want to know what, and I'm going to do a poll in my group too to find out what is it that you want. Because like I said, I've had people just generally ask for makeup lessons. I've had people ask for about classes and that. So if you don't want to do an order right away, you can definitely join the group now, and there is a class in there. There's actually multiple classes in there, but there's one for sure that I can tag you on right away when you join. And that's, like I said, if you don't want to make an order right away, then it's in that group. But if you want one-on-one time, that is in order, right? And like my VIP, and we didn't even talk about what I do for my VIPs. They know what I do for them. They know. To be VIP, that's being a Passport Perks customer. Be that. I did this TikTok a few weeks, like last week, using one of their filters, one of their effects as they call them. And okay, so I got 15 minutes. And it's got all the little diagonals like they do when you are about to this is coming up, so that means it's done. When you for like microblading, they had that. And I was like, I did a poll on it, like, should I tell the story of that time I almost took off my entire brow being cheap and trying to wax at home? And of the people who took the poll, it was like 100%. So I need to come on and I need to do that story time. I was actually supposed to do it in my stories over the weekend, but I forgot. So if you have some sort of business, I'm not saying samples are bad. I'm not saying that at all. I think with the appropriate strategy, and when you first launch something, then samples are definitely the way to go. But once something is launched and you have, especially in today's world, ooh baby, and you have social proof, girl, you don't need samples, you need belief. Because the proof is there. You don't need samples, you need belief. Okay, so the thing with this brow pomade is it is super dark. It is very dark for dark brown. And so we are going to brush that through. Okay, we are going to brush that through, then we're going to clean them up. That brow looks horrible. Don't worry though. Don't worry. I won't say I'm a professional, but I am a professional in my own brows. So we're going to get some concealer. Get some concealer here on my hand, and we gotta move quickly because we got 13 minutes left. We got 13 minutes left. This eye over here in particular looks ratchet until we do that. And so the nice thing about the zoom is that with the zoom, you're actually, you know, and that's why I like for you to give a purchase. So we're using the same products, the same brushes at the same time on the zoom, okay? I could do that as a small group. Maybe I'll see what interest there is and maybe do like an eyebrow share cart, create an eyebrow offer, and the people who order that offer within a certain period of time all will get a link to join me on a Zoom and get the replay for a limited time, and we do brows. Maybe that's something I could do. I'll watch everybody and their mother is going to start doing my idea. Because that's the way it goes. They always go see what the chocolate doing. Ah. Okay, so since we're in here, we can go ahead and patch up these eyes real quick. We got 11 minutes. So we're gonna pull out this. I already had some on my hand. And I still did not put on eye cream, so let's try to get a little bit of eye cream in here. Where is my eyeliner? I actually did a video based on request. I'm actually mixing the eye cream and concealer together here on TikTok last week, and did some of this stuff on TikTok. I got a sponge here. And then we gotta go. Then we gotta go. We gotta go. I don't even put primer on. That's okay though. That's okay. We'll just roll with base face, and maybe I will come back or go over to Instagram or YouTube because I'll have time between my Zoom and my meeting with Pinterest to do. And look at that. Look at that. I just blend that out. Just blend that out, and we got Zoom makeup. Throw on a little rose gold gloss. Okay. Of course, we need that to dry. Looking for the sponge. My eyeliner had to fall because I tend to put that back where it belongs. This is what I like to do, actually, a little primer down there. The mattifying primer is my jam. See how it just instantly blurs? Blurring and deflecting, not defecting. Blurring and deflecting are your friends. I'm tempted to put on a little bit of mascara, but I'm going to refrain from that just because I may come back. But look at that glow. Like, look at that glow. That's the part that gets me. And again, it often just takes the cleanser and the moisturizer, and everything else on top of that is, depending on where you are in your age, of course. You know, like if you're over 40, you probably most definitely want the serum too, right? You know, and depending on budget and that is where everything else falls. But you know, it keeps you from knocking a lot of people out of the box by talking about collections all the time when they can get a lot of impact with just the cleanser and the moisturizer. Like, I've seen it, like, you know, even acne prone skin, just by using a good moisturizer, a good clinical grade moisturizer and cleanser and moisturizer, can really do a lot for some people with acne prone skin. And then everything else is more like a treatment or like therapy for, you know, on a regular interval, right? So don't, I guess too, because I'm always talking to two people at once. I'm talking to more business-minded people because y'all here, and then I'm also talking to people who aren't in business, but you can still maybe learn something and hopefully open your eyes to business and monetizing, because I'm passionate about that, and I think everybody should do that. And so, you know, even if you're not more business-minded, what I want you to take from this is don't feel like and be afraid to try this skincare because you think that you need to get a full system, right? You've tried a lot of things, you've bought a lot of things, you've ordered a lot of things much higher than the $75, $80 that it's going to cost you after 30% off, right? You've tried a lot of things, you've bought a lot of things without trying them first that cost more money, right? You've bought TVs out of the box, right? So it's the same thing, right? It's cleanser. It's not rocket fuel. It's not something new and innovative that you've never heard of before. So, you know, rest assured and know that there's a 45-day money-back guarantee. There's clinical studies. There's like so many before and afters in my group. You get me, like, you're really supported in the order, but don't feel like you got to go and buy 15 steps. For a lot of people, you know, even some people, just the cleanser, though I still say you gotta moisturize. So, you know, cleanser, moisturizer, towels, and SPF are the 4 core things that every single body needs. And I don't want to talk to you about anything else, including mascara, if you have not taken care of that. It just would be a bad steward on my part. And I got 4 minutes, so I gotta go. I will